Many Democratic candidates are taking a pass on having President Obama join them on the campaign trail this fall. Several even putting out ads specifically distancing themselves from the president and or his policies. A little more than a week away from the midterm elections, what does it say about Democrats' chances of holding on to the Senate? Let's talk about it with Fox News contributor McGlowan and Fox News political analyst Juan Williams. Good to see you both today.
Good to be here.
All right, Juan, let me ask you about this because the president is doing a bang-up job across the country of raising money. He shows up at these fundraisers on quite a regular basis, and they haul in the funds. So what do you make of candidates who are more than willing to take in that money, but not necessarily want him to show up at a campaign event and stand side by side on the stage with him?
It's the difference between red states and blue states, Shannon. The fundraising is largely done Wall Street, Hollywood, New York, California, even Illinois, his home state. And the president is still popular in blue state America. I mean, when you look at his numbers, they still are flagging. They're in low 40s in the Real Clear Politics average. But that indicates Democratic support. Republicans don't like the president. Big news, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in red states and when you're playing right now, as this election is on a red landscape, where in fact the president lost Arkansas, Alaska, Louisiana, you know, we're close in North Carolina. You look at that and you say, oh, well, that's where the president is a liability, and that's why you see Democrats distancing themselves.
Well, let's talk about New Hampshire, because that is not a red state.
No.
Senator Jeanne Shaheen there now, you know, according to the polls and averages in a dead heat, essentially, with Scott Brown, the former Republican senator from Massachusetts. She was asked about this week, and she said the president is very busy. Granted, he is, between Ebola and ISIS and everything else, that she doesn't really expect him to drop everything and come campaign with her. But as many folks have pointed out, he, once again, yesterday had several hours to go golfing. And people, you know, some people have a problem with that. Some people say, you know, they don't. He's got to unwind. But more than 200 rounds of golf, I don't know that her best excuse is that he's too busy to come up there.
Well, I mean, she had Vice President Joe Biden show up to do a speech with her as a political appearance. But Juan, I want to get back to what you said about the red states versus the blue states. If you look at Colorado, in 2008, where Obama actually accepted the nomination, you have Mark Udall that's probably going to lose. So in essence, in certain blue states, he's not doing that well.
I don't think Colorado's a blue state. I think it's a
very liberal.
a split.
In certain places.
If you get to the
Boulder, Denver.
Boulder, what was that? Named the top city for people who are liberal, if you were looking for your favorite place to live.
Yeah.
But not the state. The state is very much a divided state. And I think that right now what you're seeing is even in a divided state like North Carolina, where Hagan looks like she's up versus Gardner in Colorado, I think things go back and forward. But what you have right now is Republicans who have adopted a theme, which is, we don't like Obama. Obama's the problem. It's a referendum for Republican voters on Obama. The number one reason that Republicans say they're voting in this election, to vote and send a message to President Obama.
So should he then be saying, I got to think there are some Democrats in these states you mentioned, like Begich Pryor and some others, Landrieu, are they not cringing then when he says, hey, I'm not on the ballot, but you better believe every one of my policies are?
Yeah,
I got to think there's some Democrats who did not love him saying that.
No, correct. And I think people, including his own former top political advisor, David Axelrod, said that was clearly a mistake. I've seen people say that the messaging there is off. The White House and the president, though, I think I can say reliably, feel like, you know what, the president is not going to back down. He's not going to say he's not who he is.
You've had Black Caucus members, Elijah Cummings, Clyburn, John Lewis, actually show up in these states, these red states, to actually campaign because Elijah Cummings even said that the president is not popular. And when you have certain candidates that don't even want to say if they voted for Obama or not, so basically Obama is on the ballot and his policies, and members of Congress are trying to run away from their voting record, and they can't.
Well, the reason that you have, though, Elijah Cummings showing up is, guess what? Black voters. I mean, they're trying to target specific elements of the Democratic vote to get them out. And those voters, much like the split,
president would do a lot better than a congressman from Maryland.
I'm just telling you, those voters, those black voters, still like Obama. And that's why the message that you were just talking about, for someone like Mary Landrieu in Louisiana, when she says, you know, I disagree with his oil policies, it creates tension for Democratic voters, and another reason why Democrats are fighting headwinds in this election.
When your opponent can define you before you can. Republicans have defined these folks, but it's because of their voting record. They supported President Obama lock and step dealing with his failed policies.
I don't think so. It's a failed policy, but I think that you're right. What they want to do is associate them with Obama.
All right, we got to go.